So check this out, guys. I did a live on this house not too long ago. This is one that we just bought that was kind of a weird situation. So my agent, Stacy Booth with Keller Williams, she found this house for a client, or they found it together. I don't remember the details of that, but she had a client that wanted to build, and they found a couple different properties. This was one of them that they were looking at for teardowns. So they walked into this deal, and the sellers had an agent. This was listed on the market. I think it was listed for $625. This is in Buckhead. This is like prime real estate, prime location. It's a long, skinny lot. So you can see, I mean, that's it. From there to there, that's the width of the lot. But it's very deep, so you can kind of do a long, skinny house. So anyways, they literally made offers, multiple offers on this property with the seller and the agent at their full asking price. And they were just not really communicating. They weren't really engaging. Like the sellers of this house, I don't know what their deal was, but they just, their head wasn't in it or something like that. It doesn't make sense because the house is listed on the market for sale, but they don't want to sell their house. Anyways, they tried to work out a deal, and Stacy and that buyer ended up finding something else because these people were just wasting a bunch of time and they wouldn't accept their offer. And you know, I chat with the agent at the time because I was potentially going to build the house for the client of Stacy's, and you know, we were talking about the property or whatever. So he knew me and we chat a bit. Maybe a month later, 2 months later, I don't even remember how long it was, the agent calls me up and says, "Hey Peter, do you still have any interest in that property?" Because I told him, like, if that client didn't buy it, we would buy it. Because this is Buckhead. I mean, you can't go wrong with real estate in Buckhead. So I said, yeah, I'll buy it. And I gave him a contract for $25,000 less than the other guy offered, and they accepted it. And the reason why they accepted it are because of my terms, which there are none. You know, so typically, if you guys aren't familiar, when you put a house under contract, let's say it's a regular house that you were going to move into, that's not distressed like this pile of crap, you would put it under contract. You would have a bank who's giving you a mortgage, so there's some financing contingencies in there. So you have a bank loan contingency, and then with that comes an appraisal contingency, meaning they have to send an appraiser out to the house to make sure that it's worth the money that you're paying for it, so the bank is protected on giving you that loan amount. And then finally, they have a home inspector come out and look at the house to make sure there's, you know, not all kinds of crazy stuff wrong with the house. And that's for the buyer to make sure that they still want to buy the house, or they ask for repairs or whatever. That's a whole nother conversation. So there's all these contingencies, and usually it's like a 30-day close, and they have to follow those guidelines on the dates. So there's like hard dates too. With us, we give contracts that say I can close in as little as 7 business days. Once I personally come out and do the inspection, that's it. The inspections are done. I don't put any other contingencies because we pay with cash. We close fast. I don't ask them to clean it. I don't ask them to fix it. I don't even ask them to move out. They can literally grab whatever they want and just leave, and leave the rest of the crap in the house. I don't care because we're probably going to knock the house down. So anything that's in it, we'll either donate, sell, or trash out ourselves. So it's not a big deal for us. So we try and make it super simple on the sellers. And that's how we got this property. And we get properties like that all the time because we come in with favorable terms versus other people's terms. Whereas if you're fighting other investors, let's say, because a lot of people are asking me, Peter, how do you get so many deals? Well, just being honest with people, being upfront, paying with cash, and having good terms. So if you can talk to people and not give them all the bureaucracy of a big company that comes in and they're like an investment firm or whatever, you got 13 different people you're talking to, you can say, listen, I'll close in as little as 7 days, or I'll close in 7 years. I don't care. Whenever you want to close, I can close, because sometimes people want time to go find another house, find another place to live. They haven't really done that yet until they know that they're selling their house. So if you can give them the freedom and flexibility of, and the confirmation of a contract, they can then take that and go search for their next house. So it gives them a lot of confidence to go searching, and they don't have to make an offer on their next house with a contingency that they have to sell their house before they can buy the other house. So you're just opening up all the opportunity for the seller, who would be then a buyer for his own property, or he or she, and you're really creating like opportunity for them that nobody else can offer. So if you're an investor trying to figure out how to get deals, your terms have to be tight or loose, depending on how you want to look at it. You have to be simple, you have to be fast, and you have to pay with cash if you can. If you're using hard money, you can do that. You just have to be able to move fast, because a lot of times, you know, a lady called me the other day. She's like, Peter, I want out of this house. I've got squatters in it. They're going to be out on this date. I said, cool, I'll close the next day. And she said, sweet, house is yours. And I'm buying it at a really good market rate. Little bit below market because I'm not having to pay all the agents and everything and bid with all the other people out there. So when you're trying to buy houses, terms, terms, terms. It's not about price. It is, but it isn't. Terms are everything. This house, my terms got it. So we waited patiently, 2-3 months, I don't even remember. We had it under contract and we bought it. So I told these people, they can leave whatever they want. They don't have to take anything out. They don't have to fix anything. And you can tell by the state of this thing on the outside that it's not going to be pretty on the inside. And usually that's what we deal with. We have houses that look like this all the time. So this one was kind of fun because we're about to go in and see what they left us, because there are like 6 window unit air conditioners in this house and there's stuff everywhere. You have to imagine this is the stuff they left behind. Think about all the stuff they took with them. This is clearly a hoarder situation. Let's check it out. All right, so this house is nasty. We just walked in here and it smells like death. The power's off to the house. Alex is struggling big time right now because it's nasty. And I think this house had like full food in the refrigerator. So the power's now down and that means all the stuff inside of the fridge is rotten and we're just not gonna open it because it smells awful in here. But let's run through real fast because it's not good. Like this is how we got the house, literally. So it's like people left behind all this random stuff, garbage, things. I mean, there's like video game stuff over here. God knows what. Look at this kitchen. I mean, look at the, like, this is how these people lived in here. This is how they ate. This is how they did whatever they were doing. Like, it's just, it's a little surprising. And this honestly is not the worst I've seen. Let's keep rolling. What is all this stuff? Like, just years and years of people's garbage accumulating, and they just said this again, like, think about my terms for these people, and I told them they didn't have to clean any of this crap out. How much of a relief that must have been for these people to not have to deal with all this stuff. So let's go and check out the rest. It's just a bunch of crap. Like, these people lived in this every day. Look at this back here. I mean, 2 good washing machines if you want them, guys, but I don't know if you'd want them. Look at this back here. There's like a whole room full of like, I mean, whatever. This drum set's coming home with me because I play the drums. And this is actually some like decent stuff. So yeah, that's kind of the first time in my life that I've bought a house and I actually want to take something home from it. Ooh, let's see, hold on. Oh, flashlight. Bass guitar. It is a Squire by Fender. I don't think that's a very nice one. I think that's a cheap one. I'm not really sure. I'm gonna put that back. This is just one portion of the house. Let's go upstairs. Clearly very musical people. Everywhere you go, there's instruments. But like, window units in every room. Clearly this HVAC has been dead for years. Yeah, get that bathroom. It's not pretty. So we've got our pest team here, and what they're doing is they're checking for rodent infestation. When you have a new house, when you have an old house that you want to demolish, the city or the county makes you get a rodent inspection to make sure there's not like a nest of rats underneath the house that you're going to release into the wild and go into everybody else's basements when you knock the house down. So that's what he's doing right now. I think this was the master bedroom. I don't know. Like, there's just really nothing in here. I mean, that nobody's gonna want that mattress. It's like, you know, we try and donate things, but houses like this, it's hard. I don't think anybody would want this stuff. So unfortunately, it's all gonna go in the landfill. That's it, guys. We're gonna get out of here because this thing is nasty. All right, so let's check out the back. I mean, you have to imagine, like, look at this. There's like whole hunks of the house that are missing. And I mean, this has been like this for so long. These people have lived like this for so long. This isn't something that was just like a year or two. This is a collection. It's pretty wild. So this was like the driveway to the back, and they have like this single car garage. And yet again, just another collection of a bunch of stuff. Who knows? Some bikes, some tools, random house stuff. I'm a blessing to this neighborhood because we're gonna get rid of this ugly thing and we're gonna beautify this lot. All this shrubbery will clean out, cut a lot of these overgrown trees down or trim them up. You know, you gotta look at something like this. This person has like literally a very nice brick wall built on his back line. And you know, the neighbors have fences and stuff, but you know, this is Buckhead, man. These people care about what their stuff looks like, and they have this eyesore for probably 20 years next door like this. We're gonna fix that. Stay tuned, guys. We're gonna knock this thing down.